So I know this is going to ruffle some feathers, but it needs to be said. And please know that I am coming from a place of love because I know that your efforts come from a good place. But white liberals, you are not saving the Black community. You are holding us back. It's not allyship, it's enabling. You excuse destructive choices, you lower the bar, you hand out sympathy instead of standards, you call that progress. Here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. We're not the only group with a painful past. Jewish people survived genocide and rebuilt. Asian immigrants came here with nothing, built thriving businesses and schools. We don't hand them safe spaces. We don't rewrite laws to excuse their failures. We don't glorify victimhood for anyone else. So why is that standard different for us? We built an entire system around the lie that Black people can't compete, and we call it justice. DEI, affirmative action, safe spaces, watered down schools, and even lighter sentences for crime. That's not empowerment. That's soft bigotry dressed up as compassion.
That is so true. And with Black people that continue to lean on white liberals to justify their behavior, all they're doing, the only thing that they are doing is continuing to make excuses as to why they cannot do what they're supposed to do. And I like to call that the victim Olympics. And we have victim Olympians in first, second, and third place, and they are fighting for victim Olympics. At no point did making anything easier, right, when it comes to giving people handouts that wasn't deserved or allowing for people to continue to commit crimes without penalties and holding them accountable for bad behavior. At any point did passing people through schools that didn't deserve to be there, and I'm not talking about affirmative action that was originally created for people that did deserve and was capable of being able to pass through these institutions. The institutions themselves have become liberal indoctrination camps, which is one of the reasons why the Trump administration is saying that it needs to be merit-based and we can't discriminate against people based off of the fact that they are a specific color, which is the overcorrection for what white liberals feel guilty about their ancestors doing to Black people. And at some point, it's like, don't y'all realize that y'all are enablers? It's almost like the mother that continues to give money to her drug dealing slash, taking son. And all she's doing is continuing to keep him in this perpetual state that's not going to allow for him to be a productive human being, an adult. And so she's enabling him instead of helping him. And she's actually making his life worse. And it's even worse for men. It's even worse. Like, we expect this from women. We expect women, to be making excuses and to complain because in a lot of instances, that is just what women do, right? They are looking for a leg up. They're looking for a handout. The nature of a lot of women is to use men for resources and opportunity. And so it's never going to be beneficial and all of this other stuff. But for the men, come on, man. I can't believe it. There is so many weak men. And I had a conversation on the Millionaire Morning Show yesterday about bringing masculinity back and how things need to go back to the way that it was in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. And, how everybody is weak now when you got these white apologists, these soy milk drinking, yellow hair having, crazy people that's out here just saying some of the wildest things. And if you look at any of these protests, whether it's for illegal migrants or if it was for George Floyd, these people leave their neighborhoods and they're not even from the neighborhoods that's being torn up and destroyed. Some of these neighborhoods, even in the Portlands and some of these places like Los Angeles and stuff, they never recovered from the riots. They weren't peaceful protests. They were riots during the pandemic. And they burnt down your restaurants. They burnt down your auto zones. They burnt down some of these places and tore them up and destroyed them. And it made it lawless. And all they did was absolutely destroy the business climate and activity that was then keeping people employed and allowing for the city to fill their coffers with tax dollars that allow for you to have the police officers, the public safety officers, so that you can walk down the street safely without getting mugged. And New York, don't even talk to me about New York. New York is about to go to hell. New York is going to go to hell. Santa Monica already broke. Chicago, deep in the dumps. All of these places is just going to absolutely go to hell as a result of it. But let me let this woman cook. I want to play her whole video from the beginning because I want to get the full context of what she's saying. And I always like to make sure that I give credit to the content creator, so that link is going to be in the description. Let's let her cook.
So I know this is going to ruffle some feathers, but it needs to be said. And please know that I am coming from a place of love because I know that your efforts come from a good place.
And they're gonna call her out of her name, right? Black people gonna call her out of her name.
White liberals, you are not saving the Black community. You are holding us back. It's not allyship, it's enabling. You excuse destructive choices, you lower the bar, you hand out sympathy instead of standards, you call that progress. Here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. We're not the only group with a painful past. Jewish people survived genocide and rebuilt. Asian immigrants came here with nothing, built thriving businesses and schools. We don't hand them safe spaces. We don't rewrite laws to excuse their failures. We don't glorify victimhood for anyone else. So why is that standard different for us? We built an entire system around the lie that Black people can't compete, and we call it justice. DEI, affirmative action, safe spaces, watered down schools, and even lighter sentences for crime. That's not empowerment, that's soft bigotry dressed up as compassion. And it's all causing more harm than good to the Black community. It whispers you're too weak, too damaged, too broken to do this on your own. And we've accepted that lie for far too long. We don't need your pity. We don't need you to lower the bar. We need to be held to the same standard as everyone else. Because true empowerment doesn't come from being coddled, it comes from being called higher. Charlie Kirk said this over and over again. He asked Black America to stop fixating so much on our race and our difficult history. He encouraged everyone from every background and walk of life to make their past a reference, not their residence. And sadly, his honesty caused him to be labeled a racist, despite the fact that he was simply telling us the hard truth. So here's my challenge for white liberals. Stop lowering the bar for us. Stop designing programs that assume that we can't win without a handicap. If you truly believe in Black excellence, then treat us like the powerful, capable, brilliant people that we are. Stand with us, not over us. Walk beside us, not ahead of us. And Black people, if you're still here, slavery happened, oppression exists, but our history is also full of resilience and brilliance. Research Frederick Douglass and Booker T. Washington and Madam C.J. Walker. We've been free for 150 years, but somehow we feel justified in marinating in our victimhood while holding a $1,000 iPhone, rocking $200 shoes, having nothing and no one standing in our way but ourselves.
Mmm. Because they sure gonna be out there like this every single day, and what this every single day, and then they're gonna be sitting there telling you about how they're still being sated against, and there's racism against them, and all of this other type of stuff. Listen, I truly believe this. I stand on this. I know that people are aggravated and angry, and they making videos and they whatever, right? They gonna say that, oh man, I can't believe you against Black people. You must be racist. I didn't even know that that was a definition of racism, that you can be racist against people that look like you. I didn't even know that I could be racist against myself, but apparently that's the thing. And because I choose to hold people accountable for the things that they do, including myself, and I hold myself to a higher standard, which is one of the reasons why I live my life like an open book. A lot of times people try to make that out to seem like I feel like I'm better than people just because I stand on the truth that none of us are victims, and the lot that we have in life, if you truly believe in God, then you want to make the best of it instead of complaining about what it is that you are. And that most people who are living lives less than stellar have self-inflicted wounds, and it has nothing to do with the man holding you down. It has everything to do with the decisions that you make on a daily basis. I don't want a handout. Just give me my credit when I get there. That's all I'm saying. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off of life. Let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. I think she cooked.